All right, guys, it is time. SmackDown, live, Raw. Sorry I delayed there. Who won? Who had the better show this week? Nitpicks time it is. I mean, this is the 15 minutes of me and you getting to say, I like this, but I like this better.
I don't know. I liked both shows. Pretty much like very small nitpicks.
Right.
If any. I had said in the last part that I'm more SmackDown right now.
Yeah.
They did kind of have a weaker start compared to Raw, but I feel like they have a really good idea of where they want to go with their stories, and they're doing it. One thing that I'll point out that I really, really liked that they didn't get to in the last part was when I say using the toys that they have correctly, something that really kind of points that out was Randy at Battleground had made a comment to Jericho about how great would it be if I took a hiatus and came back and wrestled Fandango, like Jericho did, and everybody was like, whoa. And then on SmackDown, because Randy said that, Fandango wanted to wrestle him. Like, just that little, that use of, common sense in your storytelling.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that use of, common sense in your storytelling makes it a lot crisper, makes it give every match and segment kind of a point. It's not just like, oh, well, we need filler space, so let's throw Fandango and Goldust out there to put on a 5-minute match when we could actually progress just a little bit of the story.
Right. Mid-sneeze.
All right.
Continue. Go ahead.
And another nitpick that I'd have pretty much... It's funny because the most nitpicks I have are about SmackDown, but I think it was the more solid show. I guess that's why. Is just Bray Wyatt in general. I think since he's came back from his injury, he's got the new look. He's not wearing ridiculous pants. He's looking a little bit more in shape, and he's becoming more of an intimidating force than he has been for quite some time. And I think that he needs to be utilized correctly if they want to make him this new mysterious, ominous Undertaker-like figure. I do like that they're kind of taking an Attitude Era approach of storytelling and weaving feuds in and out of each other.
Yeah.
I could see if Ziggler didn't win the title, I could see him going on to having a feud with Bray and it being really, really good.
Yeah.
Or just little things like Bray interfering with the title match at SummerSlam. Just things like that just make the storytelling along with the wrestling that much better.
Yeah.
With Raw, like I said, it's 3 hours, and one good thing that I'll give it is that it flows really well for 3 hours. Something that people always, when people talk about how great the Attitude Era is, I feel like they neglect to say that when you're watching Raw in the Attitude Era, almost every match and segment mattered. It progressed something, and I think Raw's starting to do that a little. Raw and SmackDown both are starting to do that. So mostly this week, I just have good things to say. And if a nitpick comes to mind, I'll throw it out there. But for the most part, I'm vibing pretty hard off of
both shows,
how good they're doing, and how they can keep my attention for how long they are.
So obviously, I'm assuming you're digging the brand split. Then thought it was a great idea.
At first, I didn't. I hated the brand split back in the day, and I hated it because it turned into a non-existent thing. Like, brands like supremacy and brand loyalty didn't exist because everybody was just on every show.
Right.
And I didn't want that to happen again. But since they're really trying to make sure that SmackDown is exclusive to SmackDown and Raw is exclusive to Raw, it's opening the opportunity for so much more stuff that we hadn't been able to see before. Right. Because everything had been relegated to the big guys on Raw and a little bit of wrestling on SmackDown. And them being able to tell two completely different stories at the same time, it's starting to be something really great.
Yeah, I agree with you because this is the second week since it's been.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my good points from both shows is that I feel like there was two solid promos given between Jericho and Enzo, and then on SmackDown, AJ Styles and John Cena. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that stick out the most to me. I'm not saying there wasn't other good ones. But those two stick out the most because the Jericho and the Enzo one and Sasha Banks and Charlotte, I was having fun. I was having a blast. Which, obviously I'm a huge Enzo fan, ever since he came in. But, it was just fun. I remember in the Attitude Era, when Road Dogg and them would come out, this is what I liked listening to when I was a kid. And watching them and see how ridiculous they were and, these outlandish characters. But then, on the flip side of that coin, to SmackDown, Cena and AJ's was so personal and so, gritty and stuff. I swear to you, it's almost like Marvel and DC to me, you know, because it's like, here's the light and happy and like true, you know, meaning of what, you know, these characters actually are. You know, they're here to, you know, help you escape. And then they give you like the dark, gritty, like we're about to rip each other's heads off on the other side.
And they're also kind of blurring the lines between reality and fiction, because AJ, regardless of whether he was the champ or not, has always been synonymous with TNA. Because most people have thought that he was the best there, which after watching him in WWE, I wasn't a big fan before. I've noticed that, he deserves everything that they say about him. And John Cena, for the past decade and a half, has been synonymous with WWE.
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
And this feud is on so many levels, it's like the dream feud for so many fans of this generation. And them taking a more personal approach, even though AJ is kind of the funny, like, bully heel. Yeah. And the whole beat-up John Cena thing is great. And it's giving a chance for Cena to be taken more seriously. Like, he's not just fighting because he's the good guy and that's what he does. Like, they're giving him a reason to. Right. And it's not making AJ look bad either. Like, AJ still looks great. Right. And he still has, like, tremendous momentum with the fans and everything going in. So I think that it's just a really good way that they're playing this. It started off as kind of like a funny haha, and now it's starting to get really personal, and they're digging up dirt pretty much and just throwing it at each other. Dad said that he feels like that it's so realistic that he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if AJ and Cena actually didn't like each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of superstars, like, when they do, like, their, you know, documentary types movies, they're like, I don't like John Cena. Or John Cena's like, John Cena, you know, piped off to me one time. Or John Cena's like, yeah, you know, I had a problem with him in the beginning, but then we eventually learned, like, how to work with each other. But, okay, real quick, bullet points on this. I mean, we still got quite a bit of time left, and I still got some nitpicks I got to do. But, okay, best match from each show.
I think for Raw, I really enjoyed the main event. Rollins and Zayn are just two of my favorites, and just watching them go is just so relaxing and just so fun.
And then SmackDown?
I would probably have to say the triple threat for the IC title.
Yeah.
It gave some new guys some time to shine, made Baron Corbin look strong, and they're investing a lot in Apollo Crews, which is kind of reassuring because he feels like a guy who could just be stuck in the mid card, and if they're gonna push him to be a big guy, this is a good way to do it.
For me, we kind of like flip flopped it. Mine would be the main event with Dolph and Bray on SmackDown. And then my Raw was Rusev and Mark Henry. It was so fun watching two big titans clash. And, you know, I was looking forward to it. Because just seeing Mark Henry, like, it had been a while, and then seeing him wrestle Rusev, and then seeing how good Rusev actually is. Like, this is my opening eyes moment for Rusev, to where I really appreciate what he's been doing. Because when he come in, I didn't really appreciate it because I just felt like he was another, like, foreign Ryback. He's just going to crush everybody, and then someone's going to finally beat him, and then he's just going to fade into obscurity. No, Rusev has stayed consistent. Like, legit, he's staying consistent. But, yeah, that would be my two best. Now, best surprise from Raw and SmackDown for you?
Surprise from Raw, which I just remembered, is that Cesaro had a match with Sheamus. Yeah. And they were like, well, if you win, you'll get a title shot. And Cesaro won. And that's kind of putting... I don't like it when fans complain about, this, and this, because they don't know what's going on.
Right. Complaining
about your favorite wrestler not winning is fine, but when you don't have the full story, like, you don't know. And it's kind of almost fan service, but it's also good business because people invest so much into Cesaro that him winning and maybe possibly getting a title shot, regardless of what title it is, that makes everybody happy, and that just looks good on your part. I think the most surprising thing that happened for me on SmackDown was when Bray showed up and attacked Dolph, because they just came out of nowhere. And I love Bray. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, snap! Oh, snap! I really enjoyed that, and I'm curious to see where they're going to go with it.
For me, it would be the RKO on Brock for Raw. I mean, it's an RKO. I mean, how can I not pick it? Yeah. Which easily I could have said, you know, Enzo coming out by himself. Yeah. But no, it's definitely the RKO because it was beautiful, and Paul Heyman built it up so perfectly. And then SmackDown, oddly enough, it would have to be the story they're going with Eve Marie, because I'm just like, it's out of nowhere, and it's surprising that they are going to go this way with it.
Yeah.
Because in the end, I think this could lead to her actually being like a good heel diva. So that would be my surprising standout wrestler of the week for each show.
Raw, probably Rusev. I think he did really good with what he was given this week. SmackDown, Dolph. It's just Dolph's been pretty much just, I wouldn't say non-existent, but he's just been so stagnant for so long that giving him a chance to just vent his frustrations, almost feeling real, is just a great thing. And it's great character development without changing who he is as Dolph Ziggler.
For me, I would have to say standout for Raw. Who'd you say?
I said Rusev.
Rusev. God, I might agree with you on Rusev because, I mean, like I said, he just opened my eyes to where I'm like, holy crap, this guy, he knows what he's doing. I mean, he's obviously got to, but it just shocked me, you know. And then probably for SmackDown, God, I'd have to say probably Bray. Because Bray, what stood out for me with Bray and why I give him like this is because he's not really, when he got drafted, like I was like, okay, so they broke up the Wyatt family? What are they going to do with them? They were just feuding with New Day. And so, like, when he showed up and attacked him, and then he was like challenging him, and which eventually, just like you said, it might lead to a triple threat match. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. Best segment of Raw and SmackDown.
I think the segment that I keep going back to for Raw that was just really entertaining was the opening promo. Enzo's just fun to watch. He's one of the first wrestlers in a while that has kind of like an entrance monologue that he does that I don't feel stupid reciting. And I do it every Monday.
Oh, of course.
Because it just makes, like you said, New Age Outlaws. It just makes me think of that, and it's just so fun. Standout segment for SmackDown. There could be a lot. The Ziggler promo was really good, and the AJ and Cena promo was really good. And that's realistic, serious storytelling with the AJ. And I'll probably have to go AJ and Cena, because it was just is a good way for them to not beat up John Cena or beat up AJ and make them both look good going into whatever they're going to do next.
Yeah, and I like that they didn't even really like touch each other at all. They just left it alone completely.
My favorite part of that, though, sorry to interrupt you, was when Cena was like, everybody goes, let's go Cena, and then he turns around and AJ's right there, and he's like, Cena sucks!
Dude, I know.
I laughed, and I was like, oh, and it was just
like, man, really he got in his face quick, too.
And it's funny, because AJ's like a foot shorter than Cena.
But you could tell, though, in that promo, AJ had so much passion while he was out there that, like, he was like, this is the opportunity where I get in his face. It don't matter the size. At this point, I've talked myself up so much, I get in his face to show I'm inserting my dominance. Yeah, easily, for me, SmackDown, best segment would have been that. Funny, though, who I would give runner-up to, and you probably don't even think about this, I probably didn't even talk about him, really, Dean and Renee Young. Because, like, knowing that they're a couple, and, like, his whole segment where he's like, can we just stand? And then so he just stands up and then he's like, I just hate this. And rips the headphone off and walks off. And then she just kind of looks and I'm like, man, I wonder if, like, it's like that with them behind the scenes, too.
Probably.
Because I feel like Dean, he's just one of those guys that's just, I bet, so laid back and just has a carefree in the world. And I mean, she's super nice from what I've seen. And I follow her on Snapchat and stuff, and I can tell it's a lot of fun. But that segment, it just stuck out to me because I'm just like, man, this is hilarious. But, yeah, that, and then best segment for me, which, I mean, I know segment, when we think of that, we think of the talking part, but I would have to say when Roman came out and then him and Rusev's interaction. Just because I'm like, Roman, I'm okay with Roman being mid-carder. So. Raw, SmackDown, who had the better week?
I'm going to go SmackDown.
SmackDown. I think I'm going to have to go... Yeah, I'm going to go SmackDown for sure. No, I take that back. I'm going Raw. I'm going Raw because Rusev impressed me, Roman impressed me, Enzo impressed me, Jericho impressed me. A lot of them impressed me, and I really enjoyed it. SmackDown was better wrestling-wise, but overall, I think I enjoyed Raw more, so I'm going to go Raw.
Alrighty.
So this is the first split.
Yeah.
But, guys, that's our opinion on the two shows this week. Make sure and come back hopefully next week or maybe the week after. We'll see you guys later.